Hello, respected viewers, audiences, students, professionals, educators, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you for today's webinar series related to writing a statement of purpose for university admissions, which we call SOP. This is a very important document for your university admission. So, in this webinar series, I will talk about what is SOP, why it is so important, and how you organize to write the SOP. So I would say you please bear with me for 10-15 minutes to understand how to write an SOP. And this webinar series is dedicated for the student who wanted to pursue their graduate studies in a dream university. So when you try to write a SOP, it has some specific ingredients, specific chronological order that if you follow, it will give you a good writing. So that's what I will be discussing today. So again, this is Dr. Enamul Hussain from NSRIC and its subsidiary. I welcome you everyone and let us start now. Sometime SOP is called research statement or letter of purpose. So we should not be confused ourselves. Now, SOP is written for two audience. One is University Admission Committee, where you can say the Graduate Studies Committee, including your potential supervisor who intend to take you as his or her research student. Then the other SOP is for visa approval. So when you apply for visa for the designated country where you intend or plan to apply for your admission in graduate study, that visa officer wanted to know why you are selecting this university or college and this particular country. So the definition of SOP is based on the outcome or the audience. Let's define what does it mean to the university admission committee. So it is an official document that is produced by a student and submit to the admission committee, where you as a student outline your career path, area of interest, contribution to the professional goals, ambitions, and the reason that encouraged you to pursue the particular program. And this is very important for you to convince the admission committee. Now, for the supervisor, what you want to attract his attention, you write down your potential about a specific research that is aligned with your potential supervisor. So this need to be also addressed here. Now for the visa officer, when you write an SOP, according to the visa officer, it defines as a document where the students submit it to the visa officials, where you explain why you select the country. For example, why you are selecting Canada for your higher study. So you need to clarify. And your destination, course motivation, academic and professional background, career goal, etc. So that the visa officer will understand the importance of your study that might potentially impact the economy of the country. Now, how you are going to write an SOP? This is another important thing. I will step by step tell you how you write an SOP. Before going to the writing, I wanted to highlight why this SOP is so important in your application. This SOP will make a distinct difference between thousands of applications that are already in the pool of the admission committee and your application. So the committee will make a distinct different. They wanted to see what you can offer, and that will make a clear difference between thousands of application and your application if your SOP is strong enough. So this is a decision making key for your admission. Then if you write a strong SOP that can stand out among many applicants that are received by the university, the experience, the extracurricular activity, the potential strength from your side to offer to the university, and in general, the university and the department, and specifically the research group where you will be considered for the potential future student of the professor. So all these things will adding value to your application. And then sometime the student who have poor profile, not that very high GPA in their undergraduate study, so a strong SOP make it happen for you to consider by the admission committee. So these are some of the highlight that you can think of for the SOP. Now, let me tell you the step-by-step procedure, an example of a good SOP. Number one, you need to bring a very good introduction. So you have to introduce your SOP with a very good wording, a sentence that is catchy. So here I will be discussing the introduction into 4 parts. Number one, let's say part one, where you will describe your childhood, what the most interest in you when you were little kid, all the way to your undergraduate study. In your undergraduate study, what interests you, why you are pursuing this, and make a little link from your boyhood to the undergrad, leading to your graduate study with a very specific narrowing down your writing. Then in part two, write down your project, internship, training, learning from them, what have you done, all these in a summary form. Here, you should understand that you should not forget your complete CV is already added in your application. So this SOP is not reiterating your CV. Here, you are summarizing in a very short form to highlight the attention of the admission committee. And in part three, you highlight what you like about this university, why you are selecting this university, what are the additional value that you will gain if you get the admission in this university. This is very important. Let's say, for example, you can highlight the potential research that are aligned with the potential supervisor in the department, the other faculty member, the university research strength, the university has some research priority. So bring those and align it with your research interest. And more specifically, bring the research interest, research preference of the department and the potential professor in the department. You can bring even some name where you are really find your interest to work with these people so that the admission committee can understand the potential supervisor where you will be working. This is what you will write in, let's say, third paragraph or in part three. Then part four, here you must specifically, I would say in bullet, write down your short-term and long-term goal, where you see yourself in next 5 years. So the short-term goal, let's say in 1 year, and then the long-term goal. So you specifically write down those short-term and long-term goal, align with your research interest, and that is aligned with your potential supervisor. And then finally, you write a good conclusion. So that is how you will make a nice SOP. Now let us give you a hint where you need to follow three major steps. Step number one, you plan very well before you write the SOP. When you write the SOP, your planning should be systematically put in place. I would say take a note, make a plan, and organize the writing. So, short note. And then you start writing. Here, I would say I have a video clip which I published, presented for you guys. So you can also look at that video clip to have a comprehensive idea. I'm not repeating all those here. There are some tips and tricks. There are 7 most important tips I presented in my previous video clip. You can look at this. Also, I have a course on it at NSRIC online course division. You can visit that course. You can register that course. There are some free video clip where you can find all this potential information. So here I wanted to summarize into steps what you will write. Now in the first draft, you will see what you have learned in your previous study. Add your industry experience if you are working in the industry. Then you should not bring technical terminology here, because this SOP, admission committee member, majority of the cases, they are not technical people. So you should not bring too much technicality in your writing. It should be more general, easy to understand. So that is how you start the writing. And then here, if you have any year gap, let's say you have 5-year gap, so you specify those here and give some evidence why this study gap is there. And then you formulate the writing in a chronological, systematic manner. That will make the flow of your work. The reader will know and will be interested to understand, to read your SOP. Finally, you must review before you send the SOP, because this is the index mirror of your achievement, of your skill, of your interest, so that you are going to convince the admission committee, including the supervisor, to give you the opportunity for study in that particular university. So these are the steps. For more information, as I mentioned, please watch the other video. Now, when it comes to the word limit, many universities put their SOP guideline in their department website, in their university website. So find that, reflect it in your SOP. Keep it in mind, every university is unique. Every department is unique. Every research is unique. So you should not just copy and paste what you have written for a university and you send it to for other university. No. Every university has their own requirement. You need to highlight it in your SOP. And then you as a student should visit the university website where there are some specific requirements set by the department, set by the university, and try to bring those in your writing. And that is how it would be aligned with your potential university. So find the word count. In general, The word limit should be 800 to 1500, within that limit, but a best SOP is within 1000 word. So you should make it within 1000 word. But again, follow the instruction of the university where they have a specific guideline. Now, the next thing is plagiarism. Be aware of. This SOP is solely for you. You are presenting it to the people on behalf of you. This SOP is presenting yourself as if you are live in front of them. So never ever it should have a lie, meaning your SOP is unique. And then you cannot just copy and paste from different sources and bring it here. If you do this, that will jeopardize everything. So it should be unique writing. Now I will discuss about the common mistakes that students do. Number one, the SOP is lousy. The SOP is scattered. It is not focused. This is one of the most difficult tasks when you write the SOP. So you should be from a nice introduction all the way to conclusion. You bring to a point where the committee will understand you want this research, you want this, and these are the reason you are very interested for studying in this university, in this program. Then number two, when you write the SOP, you are not doing a good research, because before you write the SOP, you need to research on the university, you need to research on the potential supervisor, you need to research on the department, as I mentioned earlier, that what are their interests, what are the projects they are currently working on, what are the funding facilities that the university, the department has, who are the professors where you can work with, who are the professors who has the same research interest that you have. So you do a complete survey, complete research on all this information and put it in a nice way in your writing. So this is the second thing. And then you put in sequence, in a chronological, systematic way, step by step, all the information. And the linking between the sentence, the linking between the paragraph must be maintained. And you never ever use the jargon wording that are too technical, difficult to understand by the majority of the people. Now I will give you some hints for a standard SOP writing. Number one, you must put a compelling introduction. That introduction should pay attention to the committee. Who is reading your SOP, he immediately get interest in reading more and more. So a catchy introduction is there. And then next is your academic background. You put in a nice way your history of academy, but provided you are not repeating here your CV. Your detailed academic background is there. Highlight what you have really contributed while you are studying. These are the academic background here. What are the projects that you have completed? Your undergrad research, what you have completed, and what are the achievement based on this. So these are the thing you bring it here. And then number three, a convincing justification for selecting your program. Why you are selecting this program to pursue your higher study. And you bring some of the research here, what you need to do before writing the SOP. Here you show that this department, this professor has this research where I have the most of my contribution. I have my interest. So I am pursuing this program for my higher study. And then you bring an appealing conclusion where you highlight few points. Specifically, you highlight the research and the reason for selecting your department and the university. Just a summary of your SOP. So, as a checklist, what we have discussed so far, a powerful SOP should have number one, introduction, should have your personal background, should have your academic achievement, should have your professional experience, should have your financial background, extracurricular activity, award, and achievement. And then you need to highlight the interest, hobbies, immediate or short term and long term goal, reasons for choosing this particular university, this particular institute. And then, very, very important, why you should be selected for the applied program and the university. This is also very important for the visa officer because your SOP will be also mimicking the potential of getting the visa. And then why you are interested in choosing this particular field. And then the related project. You might have 10, 15 projects what you have completed and you have lots of achievement. You should not bring everything here. Only bring couple of 2, 3 maximum projects that are related, aligned with your proposed research for your graduate study. And then read again and again, find out the grammatical mistake, find out these sentence construction mistakes. It should be grammar. So if you can do this, your SOP would be one of the best SOP. With this, I wanted to thank you again for watching and for being with us with this webinar series today in different geographical location. Whoever is with us today, I thank you again and I welcome you for your contribution and for being with us to understand how to write the SOP. I would request all of our audiences who are here today to kindly subscribe our channel so that you can get the new videos, new information related to education. NSRIC and its subsidiary is dedicated to spread knowledge in the mankind. We are committed to spread knowledge and we wanted to bring the true education to the mankind. With this, I conclude my session here. Thanks a lot. If you have question, please write it down in the comment box. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye.